You know? What the f***? What? That should win it. How many sacks to win it? Holy, rightfully so. That is the first time I've ever seen this, and that's actually kind of dope. Highlight of this rebuild so far is Myles Garrett won MVP. What's going on, everybody? C4, welcome back to the channel, and today we're here for a new Madden 22 realistic rebuild with our second to last team on our way to completing and rebuilding all 32 teams in the NFL. And today it is the Arizona Cardinals, the team that's going to be featured on the upcoming season of Hard Knocks. I'm sure the Oompa Loompa man at quarterback, and I say that with full respect because he's an awesome player, very fun to watch when he's on point. But there is a lot of drama around Kyler Murray and contracts and extensions and holdouts and can he be consistent enough to earn that massive I think, put it this way, when he's on his game, Kyler Murray is as exciting as any quarterback in the NFL. He's a phenomenal talent, but now there's people being like, is his heart really in football? Is he a good teammate? Can he go to baseball? So on and so forth. And I think that being on Hard Knocks, having all that potentially exposed, depending on what they are able to catch on camera, could be very interesting for the Arizona Cardinals. But for our rebuild, I'm happy that we have him +4, which we should hit this season, maybe the next if he doesn't play particularly well. We'll have Escape Artist, a.k.a. a cheat code at quarterback, which makes me feel pretty good about this rebuild. James Conner at running back, tremendous story. Obviously, it doesn't bear repeating. You should know what James Conner has gone through, and the fact that, you know, he had some ups and downs, some big ups, some big downs with the Pittsburgh Steelers, goes to free agency, cashes out, was a touchdown monster last year with the Arizona Cardinals. I'm excited to continue his little resurgence of his career. We have DeAndre Hopkins. I suppose if we're doing realistic rebuild, we should suspend him. But I don't drug test in my rebuild, so DeAndre Hopkins is not going to... I don't know what it is, the first 4 games, first 6 games, something like that, which is kind of crazy. But, again, one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. A very legit argument can be made. He's the best wide receiver still in the NFL, even after a little bit of a down year. They made the trade, first-round pick to the Baltimore Ravens to get one of Kyler Murray's buddies, Hollywood Brown. He's going to be one of those guys right now I'm low-key kind of targeting in fantasy football. I think he's going to be a big fit for that Cliff Kingsbury air raid style. He's going to be a fun player. We got the veteran A.J. Green, who's kind of aging like a fine wine a little bit. And then they got the electrifying Rondale Moore. Just a lot. I mean, they didn't even go down. Antoine Wesley, great jump ball guy. Andy Isabella, terrific athlete. Just one of the deepest wide receiver rooms in the NFL. O-line solid. Humphreys, Pugh, Rodney Hudson, one of the best centers in the league. Will Hernandez and Kevin Beachum. I feel like, you know, probably going to need Pugh's replacement sooner than later. Definitely could upgrade right tackle. Be interested to see how Will Hernandez develops. I think we could maybe upgrade offensive line as we go through this rebuild just a little bit. At the tight end room, they got the veteran Zach Ertz, and they drafted the best tight end award-wise from college football last year in Trey McBride, the rookie out of Colorado State. He's a Mackey winner, so he's coming in as a 72 star dev, which I think that's probably going to be in the ballpark of what he gets for his rookie rating in Madden 23. On the defensive side of things, well, on the front three, again, need a lot of work. You have J.J. Watt, and it's probably not too early or never too early to start planning for his replacement. I don't think he ages the best anymore, that he's been nerfed a little bit. No more X Factor, no more 96, 97 overall. But we'll probably still ride J.J. Watt till the wheels fall off. Zach Allen, serviceable. Kingsley Kiki, I think, from A&M. How do I still remember all that stuff? You know, again, could upgrade. I think they could be solid. They could develop into, you know, high 70s, low 80s and be serviceable. But I do think we should be looking to see if we can upgrade there. The rest of the front 7, you got Marcus Golden and Kennard. I think, even though they did get Thomas in the draft and Sanders from Cincinnati in the draft, probably want to look, much like on the defensive line, for some edge rushers with a little bit more upside. Inside, it's great. Zaven Collins, hidden dev, Isaiah Simmons, freak of nature. They have the white Lawrence Taylor, a.k.a. Dennis Gardeck. A little bit of an inside joke. He's a beast. Secondary, we have Thompson, who's an 80 star. We have Budda Baker, one of the best safeties in the NFL. One of my favorite players in the NFL. He is a 93 superstar. At corner, you have Byron Murphy, very solid. 82 star. I think he's only 24, 23. So that's sensational. But beyond that, we need a little bit of help here in the secondary. And what we're going to do, we have Jeff Gladney, who left the Minnesota Vikings under less than ideal circumstances. There were some allegations against him, and I believe nothing ever came out of that. I don't want to just, I'm speaking on my ass. I think I still read this on Twitter, but I guess maybe the other party was lying. Either way, it seemed like he was good. Went to the Arizona Cardinals, and unfortunately and tragically passed away not too long, like a week ago. It sucked. I mean, he only had like a 1-year-old son. I can only imagine. So much like when we did the Pittsburgh Steelers rebuild, we had Dwayne Haskins, and we did that probably like a week. I don't know. It's just oddly coincidental. We kind of kept Dwayne Haskins on the roster, but we didn't play him because he was just firmly our backup quarterback. In this situation, Jeff Gladney was a very good player at TCU. I had a legitimate first-round game. He's one of my favorite corners in that draft class. And it's a little bit different than the Dwayne Haskins. Because it's not like I just have Jeff Gladney be a bench guy and just have him and keep him along for the ride out of respect. I feel like, why not? Let's give him one last chance to be a star. I'm not going to pull any favors. If he doesn't develop, if he sucks, if we can get better upgrades, I probably will do so. But I'm telling you right now, for year one, I'll give Jeff Gladney the opportunity. It'd be awesome. How fitting if maybe he's one of the guys on the defensive side of the ball that gets that dev trait scenario role. And we can make Jeff Gladney live out what could have been before, that tragic accident in a player that really I still think had plenty of talent, man, absolute terror. And I had some people reach out to me that played with him in high school and stuff like that, and just, it's bad vibes all around. And, man, it really actually, I don't want to say, it sounded worse when it's like, man, just had a 1-year-old, so that's too damn long. So, anyways, hopefully this rebuild things work out Jeff Gladney. Even not, I don't think I'm never going to release him. I'll try to keep him on the team for the entirety of this rebuild, unless he's like 72 normal and wants $70 million. But it'll be interesting to see if we can kind of make Gladney the lockdown partner with Byron Murphy Jr. I'm going to give him that opportunity, and hopefully we get many, many Super Bowls. Or at least a Super Bowl, because then I'm checking out, because that's all we do here. We get the Super Bowl, and then we cash out. And with a superstar X-Factor quarterback that's very shortly going to have escape artist, optimism is high that Super Bowl victory is going to come very, very soon. So without further ado, let's get into year one of this Arizona Cardinals Madden 22 realistic rebuild. All right, we got a breakout scenario on the defensive side, and it is Kingsley Keke, who's 75 normal dev D-tackle. Played next to J.J. Watt, getting this opportunity here in year one. Let's see what we can get. Come on. That'd be huge, man, for this defense. We had a little too many normal dev players for me on the defensive side of the ball. So we beat the Houston Texans 31-17, and Keke goes up a dev trait. Let's freaking go. All right, we're gonna go just bring it live here. We have a breakout scenario for Byron Murphy, looking to go from star to a superstar. And I believe we have a second breakout here against the 49ers, and it is for Jeff Gladney, baby. Looking to get off that normal dev. We need a big victory here over the 49ers for a chance. I don't think I've ever actually had a scenario where my two starting corners can both go up. It was a low-scoring game. We held them to 13 points. Let's see what we can do. First up, Byron Murphy had a quiet game. All right, that's less than ideal. Well, what about the late Jeff Gladney? Come on, that'd be just kind of awesome. And there you go, man. It's destiny at this point. Jeff Gladney has got up to star dev. So at the midway point of the season, very good. Kind of running away with the division here just a little bit. 8-3. Better than expected. I don't think anyone's really going crazy. Like Kyler Murray's not there. Yeah, really, we don't have any leaders. So it's just been a team effort right here. Really good defense. #1 defense in the NFL, which is shocking because I had 2 normal dev corners, 2 normal dev D linemen, both under 70, like 75 under all. It just doesn't make sense, man. That's just point blank period. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense here. But let's take a look at some contracts. We have almost $70 million, so we can pretty much re-sign anybody that we would like. Kingsley Keke has earned himself a new contract. Let's give him something like a 5-year deal. Seems to be excelling next to Mr. Watt on the defensive line. There's actually some depth guys that this was, a regular franchise, and I had a chance to play with everybody. Injuries are on. I mean, Wiggins, I like him. Dogby, Jalen Samuel, Wesley, all these guys are probably catching contracts, but we got to kind of think big picture here. And outside of Keke, not much worth re-signing right now. I have another, I don't know why we're getting so many breakout scenarios, but this one here's for Isaiah Simmons, looking to go off star to a superstar, which is what was his old dev before, the Cardinals just couldn't figure out how to use him after drafting him. We lose to the Rams, but we get a silver lining. Do we have a new superstar linebacker? And unfortunately, we do not. At the end of year one, 12-5, first place in the NFC West, and we got the first round by the 1 seed in the NFC. Congratulations, Kyler Murray. On the other side, it is the cheat code Kansas City Chiefs. Not really shockingly. And looking at the playoff teams, I mean, that's not happening. 4-5 there, but we played well. Well-rounded team, just kind of good at everything. Looking at the big picture there. Nothing really, no one really crushed it in terms of top 3. Kyler Murray went for 4,200 yards passing, 28 touchdowns to 5 picks, as well as 570 on the ground, 9 I have noted, he might win MVP. Anytime a rushing quarterback has good numbers on the ground, and, maybe we didn't do enough passing, but, he'll make that MVP shortlist because, for whatever reason, scrambling quarterbacks are valued a lot more. Almost 1,100 yards, 9 touchdowns for James Conner, solid season. 13-9 Hopkins, 9-10 for Rondale Moore, almost 900 yards, 7 touchdowns for the Hollywood Brown. Defensively, 128 tackles, Isaiah Simmons, 127, Zaven Collins. We got 11.5 sacks from the ageless wonder, J.J. Watt, 10 sacks, Marcus Golden. And on the interception front, 4 picks for Jeff Gladney. Let's go. 2 for Marco Wilson, who's, a terrific athlete out of Florida. We'll just make sure he doesn't throw any sneakers. Oh, that still hurts. Looking at the yearly awards, MVP went to, Kyler Murray, because rushing quarterbacks are kind of broken. Kaepernick is still a thing. Way she goes. But we won the MVP with Kyler Murray. That is awesome, especially just for year one, having that kind of success. On the award front, J.J. Watt coming number 3 for Defensive Player of the Year. Going to just see who we have here. We have Quarterback of the Year going to Kyler Murray. Zach Pascal, I'd love that. No other awards for us. Yeah, a little bit weird, man. Like the MVP, but he wasn't really that good statistically. No real dominant players, to be honest with you. Hopkins had a good year. And we got the first round bye. So, everything is setting itself up for us to lose, be 1 and done in the playoffs against the Atlanta Falcons. Let's just go into it right now. I want to laugh. I want a good chuckle here. Okay, we win. I was going to say, if we went in with the 1 seed MVP and we lose to easily the least likely team to make... Actually, I don't know. That's a tough question. Who's least likely to make the playoffs this year between the Falcons and the Seahawks? But we took them down. Close game. 28-24, Kyler Murray. Oh, Cam Newton! What is going on? Kyler did have 3 total touchdowns, and on the defense side of the ball, 2 interceptions by Byron Murphy, 1 from Isaiah Simmons, 2.5 sacks. J.J. Watt, and that sets the 1 versus 2 seed, the Cardinals against the Cowboys. On the other side, wow! The Chargers, what an upset. We got Russell Wilson, Justin Herbert, Kyler Murray, Dak Prescott. See who goes to the Super Bowl. I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I absolutely hate losing to the Dallas Cowboys, so... what we're going to do before this matchup, it's still just because it's year 1. Let's upgrade my players. I don't think there's anyone there that needs to be... Let's Kyler Murray, just keep pumping them in improviser. I'm going to make sure also that he has Escape Artist on. Because if we do go on a super run, I might need to hop on in the game. Wow, he doesn't even have it. We might as well just make it to, what he is, right? We'll give him Gunslinger. And then we'll give him... What? Gambler. He has no abilities on. That's absolutely awesome. Sure, we'll go better pass blocking for my alignment. Sounds pretty freaking good. We'll auto-spend everybody else. Either way, it's time to take down the Dallas Cowboys and go to the Super Bowl in year 1. I love these, Oh, yes. 36-30. We are putting up points. We are moving weight. And it's Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos meeting us in the final there. But a 6-point victory over Dallas in a game where domination. We let them back in. They got 23 of their 30 points in the fourth quarter. Kyler, not, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. A little bit of turnover. Happy there. Big game Hollywood Brown, Rondale Moore, 2 touchdowns. Zach Ertz knows a thing or two about playing the Cowboys. 2 sacks, Marcus Golden, interceptions for Murphy and Jeff Gladney. And the Arizona Cardinals. Just no offense to the Pro Bowl, but I'll never play that mode. We are going to the Super Bowl. Let's spend our points here, and then let's just hop right on the sticks and see if we can complete, I think, something we've only done maybe once or twice so far throughout every 32 rebuild. I think we did with Minnesota, and I feel like probably one of the last, like, 10 rebuilds that we've kind of just done. We won in year 1. Let's go. Let's make this one another one. I'm not worried. Russell Wilson, sure. Pat Surtain, sure. That's it. They don't got enough. They don't got enough to stop Kyler Murray, the escape artist Kyler Murray. But hey, Russell Wilson knows a thing or two about playing in Arizona, so who knows? Maybe that'll work in their favor. And they are starting out pretty quick here. Jumping to a 10-0 lead, 17-0 lead. We get a nice little instant touchdown there to make it a 10-point deficit, and they get another touchdown. This is not looking good for the Arizona Cardinals. We do get that touchdown to end the first half. Maybe that gives us a little bit of momentum. Second half, we get no points on that drive. Don't know how we didn't at least get a field goal there. Down 7. Down 10. Down 3. Come on. Buck 46, a chance to be a legend. Kyler Murray. Win us a... And it's a fucking turnover. What happened there? Oh, I gotta look at that, man. That was... We had a minute 46 to go win it. And there was a pick 6. Well, I didn't really want to win it year 1, to be honest with you. I want to see this team develop a little bit more. So, very close. Better team won. So, as we cleared our lockers, let's see if anyone went up dev trait on offense. I mean, the 2 players that could have went up dev are already X factors in Murray and Hopkins. On the defensive side, we have J.J. Watt went up to X factor. That's cool. Helps him in terms of regression and stuff like that a little bit. And Jeff Gladney went up to superstar. What is going on? Just gets it out of the blue. Maybe, yeah, that's kind of awesome, honestly. Couldn't have planned that any better. We had a little bit of money to spend in free agency, and there's actually a really good-looking player at a position of need here, and that is Jordan Lewis, formerly the Dallas Cowboys, 27 years old. And he went up to superstar dev. No real massive bids on him. We desperately need a third corner that can play with Murphy and Gladney. So if we can land him, that'd be a perfect start to this offseason. Crush the draft, and we're looking to get right back to the Super Bowl in year 2. And beautiful. We get superstar corner Jordan Lewis. Let's go. We also in this offseason have the option to pick up the 5th year of Kyler Murray's rookie contract. And absolutely, we're going to do that because this extension is going to be incredibly expensive. All right, we're going to start in the first round at pick 31 with what looks like a can't-miss player. We have Deshaun Owens, 6'6", 316. So for our scheme, he could be, Zach Allen's upgrade, if you will. Going to move him to D-end because look at that. 6'6" with 4'7", 40. Bench press is solid. The 3-cone, it's just, he can't miss, man. This guy is absolutely a baller. And of course, too good to be true. I got to trust my board. We for some reason, I don't know, I wasn't fully putting my scouts here. We have Patterson, who looked pretty good, but then we have a guy down here, first, second round talent in Enrique McCann. Don't even really need him, but he looks can't miss, man, if you're going to be honest with it. You got the hidden dev. Got to trust the board sometimes. You got to trust the information that's provided to you. Anytime you're that long, that fast. Even though that's not a position of need, you're just going to stack BPAs. We just made a flyer pick, just center, high bench, 87 strength, which is pretty high for a center. And he comes out, Trey Harrington, hidden dev center. Unfortunately, doesn't have the great size to transition to guard or anything like that. I mean, we might be able to just kind of force that square peg into a round hole because no one's playing, you're not taking over Rodney Hudson until he retires, but I'll take that every day of the week. Hidden dev lineman. So, taking a look at our draft recap, I think we got some pretty good players. We had 2 hidden devs. And so we started with Deshaun Owens. So he's your typical super high overall player that doesn't have a dev trait, unfortunately, but still solid enough. I wonder how bad his rating is going to shift when we move him to defensive end. We'll take a look here, though. Let's make him left end for now. We'll play on whatever side. Ooh, a little bit of a hit, but he's still a good player. Enrique McCann, which is BPA, trusting our board. 75 hidden dev, can't complain about that. Harrington, 72 hidden dev lineman. Might have to get a little cute and kick him into, one of the guard spots. Just get him on the field. We got a 66 Gil Whitmore, 68 Kenny Burton, not too bad. Pretty fast, and we finish with a 70 overall punter, who's going to be our day one starter, Josh Batten. But 3 really strong picks here to start this out. Come out of the fact that we added a superstar corner in free agency. Very optimistic as we gear up for year 2. So for year 2, our Arizona Cardinals squad looks like this. Skill position are exactly the same, except I'm going to give McBride the nod here. Head of Zach Ertz. Feel like that's probably just better for our squad's development long term. Harrington's going to left guard. Justin Pugh's going to right tackle. And on the defensive side, wish we got an edge rusher. Golden, was productive last year. It just doesn't look that imposing. Maybe we could trade if this McCain guy comes out with like superstar dev or something crazy like that. Maybe makes Thompson, who's a very solid safety, still his best football ahead of him, more desirable. Might be able to flip him for something. Owens, our first round pick, will get the nod over Zach Allen at defensive end. And I think we'll put Gladney. We'll keep Gladney on the outside. We'll have Jordan Lewis be our slot corner. And this is a team that's a lot better than last year's team. And last year's team was the 1 seed and just barely lost in the Super Bowl. So I expect more of the same here in year 2. Coming out of our bye in year 2, second place in the division, but only, we just had our bye. That's the only difference here. I think we can beat Dallas and reclaim first place in the West. Let's take a look at some contracts here. We got the 5th-year option picked up on Kyler Murray, so we're able to kind of kick that down the road, which is important because this is going to be an expensive window here. First up, Jeff Gladney will get a contract here, absolutely. Get him locked in. We got Humphreys, solid. Another guy, if we don't re-sign him, there's not going to be anybody better on the market, I guarantee it. This is the smart thing is you can't sign everybody, and we drafted that hidden dev player to take over for Thompson. As much as that's totally reasonable, even if the guy that we drafted is only a starter, it just saves that money a little bit. It makes re-signing Kyler a little bit more digestible. We got Byron locked up. Might as well grab JJ on a 1 year if he wants to stay here. And lastly, we have Rodney Hudson. Same type of deal. Man, I might even give him a 2-year deal. Sometimes linemen play very long. So we got him locked up. And we're going to do the proper thing here. And realistically, we have a very promising free safety. We're going to let Thompson walk. And a couple weeks later, Deshaun Owens, our first round pick, who was unfortunately a normal dev, has a chance to go up to star, which would make him just that much more of a home run, man. Going off normal to star is quite substantial here in franchise. As we take on the Carolina Panthers, looking to get 2 wins, which we do. Can we get the dev trade on top of it? And we do. Deshaun Owens. Beautiful. And we had year 2, not even making the playoffs. We lost 5 in a row, I want to say. 4 or 5 in a row. To close out the race. It was just a season we could not really get any momentum. Anytime it came time to take on a legit team that's strong. Look, Chiefs, strong team. Saints, OP playbook. Bucks, OP playbook. Dallas, OP. Green Bay, overpowered. And look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 and 5 to close out the season, man. Our team's sick. From a rebuild standpoint, I'm not second guessing myself. It's just we got a really bad roll this season, unfortunately. Kyler Murray, the reigning MVP, 4,200 passing yards, 26 touchdowns, 11 picks, also 5 and 6 on the ground. So pretty much the same kind of year he had last year. 1,009 for James Conner, 1,109 for Hopkins, 1,104 for Hollywood Brown, almost 900 yards and 8 touchdowns for Rondale Moore. Trey McBride, 600 yards in his first year as our true starter. Huge year from Isaiah Simmons, 126 tackles, 3 sacks. We got a 15 sacks from J.J. Watt, 12 from Deshaun Owens. Let's go. Got that dev trade as well. That was beautiful. 5 interceptions, Zaven Collins, 3 from Lewis. Couple doubles there. Not bad turnovers. Really, no issues with the defense. No issues with really the wide receivers got their own. It's just, Kyler Murray didn't really take that next step as the MVP, even though he absolutely still played very well and made 7th on the short list. We need more than 20-some touchdowns, Felt like we just weren't scoring enough points this year. Looking at the big picture, defensive rookie of the year goes to Deshaun Owens. Would love another potential dev trait for him. That'd be cool to get him up to superstar. For the rest, nothing for your lovely Cardinals, as we're just going to act like this season never happened and get right through the offseason into year 3. Really, really tempted to try to get Rashawn Gary, but then you see it's a $179 million contract. And we're going to have to pay Kyler Murray. Like, literally, we could probably try to get Rashawn Gary, and then if we don't win the Super Bowl, our rebuild's absolutely fucked. But I am going to look at getting Nate Davis on the offensive line at right guard. Pretty competitive offer. Man, I want to see, like, can we even make, like a legit offer here for Rashawn Gary? That's, like, you know, way too much. Like, can we knock this down to, like, 9? And 13. Like, we are way too high. Like, let's even try something like, I mean, let's go for it, man. Let's, cause I mean, you could even get Montez Sweat for like a lot more affordable and put him at, you know, I'm gonna do that. Let's be responsible with our money here. We're still gonna spend, but I feel like we could probably get as much out of Montez Sweat and have more than enough money to have like a peace of mind that when it comes time to re-sign Kyler Murray, if we don't win the Super Bowl, we're going to have those funds available. So we'll go up to $8 million. 4 years, 60 for Montez Sweat. We need a little bit more pressure from our outside linebackers. Competitive bids for both players. There's a chance we don't get either, but it'd be awesome. Pretty awesome if we did. And that is beautiful. Both Nate Davis and Montez Sweat are signing on with the Arizona Cardinals. We have another fifth-year option scenario on Isaiah Simmons. I think this is another situation where a very good player, and let's just kick that can down the road a little bit. So as we go into the draft, again, he should be awesome, and I'm not going to pat myself too much on the back. We know he has A pursuit, A tackle, and we could be looking for another pass rusher right now. We did bring in Montez Sweat. The other side is Cameron Thomas, who's 75 normal, just solid, right? But this guy here truly has a chance to be special. Dominic Bayless, looking kind of for BPA. Third 40-yard dash at the combine. First 3-cone, first 20-yard shuttle, first vertical jump. Top 10 of the bench press. He might, you know, he's either going to be like 73 with a dev trait, or he's going to be like 76 normal dev. There's going to be no in between. And yeah, there we go. He's going to be a high overall player with no dev trait. All right, kind of cool. The second round, just I needed a tackle. We have Josh Jones right now. I think he's 74 starting at tackle. I was like, all right, let's just kind of go highest bench press. And we got Cole Aiken here, hidden dev, tackle. Beautiful. So then our draft recap, Bayless is exactly that high overall, no dev trait. And with the rate that we've been getting normal dev players to get dev trait scenarios, I'm optimistic that Bayless is going to do that for us. But we are going to have to quickly switch him, because Montez Sweat's going to be our right outside linebacker. We're going to have him compete with Cam Thomas for the left outside linebacker spot. Aiken, 71, normal dev. Had a couple just kind of filling up my board here. I simmed out after the 5th round, so we got the computer hooked us up with John Singleton, 68 normal, and they hooked us up with Tracy Mason, hidden dev quarterback, 7th rounder. 90 throw power. I mean, that guy looks like he'd be pretty fun in like Pink Slips or something like that, but shout out to the computer for hooking us up with a hidden dev, giving us 2 on the draft class. A very quick look at our team going into year 3, just because there was a couple changes here or there. Aiken, we're going to go and give him the opportunity to start at right tackle. Nate Davis coming over free agency, really trying something out new and fresh on the right-hand side of the offensive line. Everything else remains the exact same. On the defensive side, McCain is going to start at free safety. Bayless, our first-round draft pick, is going to start at left outside linebacker. Really, really hoping for a dev trait scenario to possibly trigger there for him. That'd be pretty awesome. But, yeah, again, hopefully our team just doesn't suck randomly for some reason here in year 3. Dude, what the fuck? 2-6. Don't know why. Don't know what's going on. We're going to pay Kyler Murray, and hopefully it writes itself. You know, $324 million deal, which is absurd. We got J.J. Watt. We'll get him on a 1-year deal if he still wants to stick around with the squad. Hollywood Brown has been solid. It's one of those things where I'd maybe want to get someone with a more upside, but he's going to be probably the best wide receiver on the market. McBride at tight end. Yeah, it's affordable for a guy with still some upside there. Okay, everything else looks pretty good. We do have enough money that if we want to, we could bring back James Conner. I don't know if it's the scheme, because I feel like he's still a solid running back. If he takes that, we'll do it. If not, I'd walk. But he does take that money. Everyone, I mean, it's been very easy to attract talent here. It's just, why is my team sucking? This is unlikely, but a chance. Montez Sweat, who we spent pretty decent money on, looking to go become an X factor against the 49ers at home. I mean, if we're going to be able to flip the script, grind our way back maybe to a wild card spot, it's going to start right now. Back-to-back victories. And Montez Sweat, unfortunately, you know, team success over individual success this week. Actually, turn it around to make the play. We won the division. Holy shit. We were firmly, I mean, we were tied for third place. And I guess results went our way. We beat the Giants. They were like 3-0. They only had 3 wins, and we beat them 37-31. And we're able to go 9-8 and take the Dallas Cowboys on in the first round. That's pretty dope. What happened? Tides got turned there a little bit. Kyler Murray is pretty much just what he does in the Cardinals offense. Good to know that I'm not a huge fan of these Cardinals sim offense. Huge. I mean, look at that rushing numbers. James Conner almost 20 touchdowns. Glad we re-signed him. 11-12 for Rondale Moore. 11-6 for Hopkins. Average years for Brown there, and okay for McBride. Huge season for Zaven Collins. 131 tackles, 12 TFLs, 7.5 sacks, 3 interceptions. That sounds like he's going up dev trait. 15 sacks, Montez Sweat. You know, I don't know where Rashawn Gary went, but I guarantee Montez Sweat had a better season. 14.5 for J.J. Watt. We had 4 picks. Isaiah Simmons, 3 for Collins, 3 for Budda Baker. Couple doubles there. McCann, Murphy, and Gladdy. Pretty much all of our starters got picks. I do want to just, out of curiosity's sake, take a look and just see if Rashawn Gary had more. You know? What the fuck? What? This is Sim. What? Oh my god, he's not even... How much lower do we need? Oh, he might not have enough tackles. I'm going to assume he doesn't have enough tackles. But I've never seen that high. What? What? That's not even, like, what? That would never happen, ever. Holy shit. Give him the MVP. Like, that's like literally if you're doing like some stupid experiment video. Like, that should win it. How many sacks to win it? Holy, rightfully so. That is the first time I've ever seen this, and that's actually kind of dope. Highlight of this rebuild so far is Myles Garrett won MVP. All right, back to our regularly scheduled content. We made the playoffs outside of that shocking news. Let's see, can we win here in year 3? We shouldn't have even made the playoffs. Can we take down an overpowered team and we lose by 1 point to the Dallas Cowboys, 27-26? What are the odds Kyler Murray didn't play? I just feel like Kyler Murray, even though... Never mind. I'm not going to say anything back because he actually had a pretty good game. I feel like he's been a little underwhelming as a passer, as a thrower. I don't know if that's him. I don't know if that's the playbook. But he's also won the MVP with his playbook, so I don't really think I can change it. It's a solid game, strong game. But now we're getting to that spot where we're going a little long in the rebuild. Watt, Hopkins, pretty much all the guys they stole from Houston are about at that regression point. I'm a little bit worried. Look, there you go. We're over the salary cap. Things are getting a little dicey. I think if we don't win this Super Bowl here in year 4, year 5 is going to be incredibly difficult to do so. All right, and to continue to kick the can down the road, we have Zaven Collins, who had a little bit of a breakout year. This is the only thing we're even going to talk about this offseason because we had less than $7 million worth of salary cap. We weren't signing anybody. Didn't want any temptations, but we will re-sign Zaven Collins. We're going to go in the draft looking for... offensive line, running back, get someone behind James Conner there potentially. Maybe, best player available on the defensive side of the ball. First round, we'll go, not the strongest of classes, but this guy's looking maybe the best bet for early on. There's a bunch of solid running backs, day 2, day 3. So again, kind of going with that's what I'm looking at. Best defensive player available, and then maybe look for a nice RB2. So we're going to look at Cecil Lamb, hidden dev, 6'3" with 95 speed. Also want to trust our scouting. We went heavy on free safety for some reason. Again, I'm just not really setting that. Our team's so stacked. But we have a first, second round talent here in free safety, Bill Taylor. Another hidden dev player. Let's go. All right, I want to grab the best running back we can at this point. You're looking for running backs. You want 4 or 5, and you also just want to kind of take the guy that's just the best athlete across the board. There's some good ones, man. Like, I think generally, like, look at this: 10, second, third, 10th. It's one of the deeper running back classes I have seen. You got Bryce Hanks there, D catching. He's pretty good though. 4.4 speed. We have Nick Craig. No information. 5'11", 230, 4.39. 4.39, 27 reps. I don't know how much further we need to go. That might be our guy. Darius Parker. Not really that good. Jonathan Patterson. I think we're going to go with that Craig guy. There was just a ridiculous looking running back that looked kind of good in DeMarcus Whitaker. 5'5", 172, like one of the smallest running backs I've ever seen. 4.39. But the fact that you're dealing with a guy that's that small, kind of an east. But then again, he does complement James Conner during a power roll. But if you want a true successor that does go to a year 5, I feel like Nick Craig's the guy you want. 5'11", 230. Let's pull the trigger here. Hidden dev. Pretty good, man. It'd be 230 pounds, 93 acceleration, 92 speed, 90 jumping. I mean, that, he's probably, 70, 71 hidden dev in that range. That's good enough to be a valuable average. Just because our running back 2 gets so many touchdowns in this scheme, why not have a guy with upside? So it is, this is our last important draft. We'll sim it out here. My board kind of got depleted. This is like the last chance that guys are going to be able to really make an impact. Because if it does go to year 5, our salary cap's brutal. So we're going to need, hopefully, we had those 3 hidden dev players, which is awesome. One of our strongest drafts. What better time to get you like your super strong draft than right now? Cecil Lamb, 77 hidden dev man. I got him because he was fast and had A press in his ability. And that looks awesome. He's not going to play. He's going to be corner 4. But if this goes a little bit longer, that'll be fine. We got Nick Craig, 77 hidden dev. I still have not pulled. There's people that I've seen have like 85 running backs or something like that. They sometimes generate those ones. Never got one of those, but I feel like a 77 hidden dev running back in the 3rd round. That's pretty much Nick Chubb. He's Nick Craig. They pretty much made a Nick Chubb regen. Bill Taylor, safety, 73 hidden dev. Again, this is a very strong draft. We let it sim out after this. Norwood, 70 normal. We got a couple like 60s there, but really, let's go, man. So here's our squad. Nothing really has changed on the offense side of the ball, except we added an absolute monster as running back 2 behind James Conner. On the defensive side of the ball, we brought in Lamb. We brought in another safety. But it's still the same team. And love. I wonder, I do want to get Craig on the field here. Maybe I'll make him the power back. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. This guy needs to get some reps. He's a monster. Absolute monster. All things being, again, this team is so freaking good. Can we make the playoffs and not barely make it by the skin of our teeth? Like, just one game above 500? How about this team here, 99 X-Factor quarterback, should get 12 wins minimum. All right, we got a hot start for year 4. 4-2, tied for first place. We have no money to re-sign anybody. So, Budda Baker, DeAndre Hopkins, Isaiah Simmons, J.J. Watt, Rondale Moore, Rodney Hudson, Jordan Lewis, DJ Humphries. We need to win a Super Bowl this year. I don't want to see what this team looks like. I don't want to endure that challenge of what this squad's gonna look like next season. We have a breakout scenario on the D-line for Owens, who was one of our first round draft picks. He already earned a dev trait in this rebuild, so it'd be pretty cool to complete like the succession as the heir to J.J. Watt in a losing effort. Did he do enough to go up to superstar? And he did. Deshaun Owens is now a superstar D-line in defeat. We'll give this one a little play. Montez Sweat, this is the first time it didn't quite go our way. We did not get the dev trait scenario. But he is looking to become an X-Factor pass rush, which would be kind of awesome. Here against the Carolina Panthers. When we win 27-24 to remain first place in the NFC West, did he achieve his goal? And he did not. Another, like, I don't get these Brittany breakouts like early on, let alone year 4 of a rebuild. Enrique McCann, our star-dev safety, has a chance to become a superstar here, week 14 at home against the 5-7 Patriots, 8-4. This would be a big victory for us to continue to pull ahead in the division. We do win 31-21, and McCann gets nothing. I'll take the win though. We go 1-1 to finish the regular season. I actually thought we were gonna lose both our games. We get the 1 seed, 12-5. That's kind of like, wasn't that what I just said at the beginning? I wanted 12 wins. We're the, you know, there's a log jam for who the best team is. I don't know, man. That's very rare that we get the tiebreaker over another team. I don't know what the actual tiebreaker would be in this situation. I don't think we played the Bucks, but the Pittsburgh Steelers, Kenny Pickett, the 1 seed overall. The Arizona Cardinals get to kick our feet up here on what is essentially an all-in run. I mean, we'll do it. If we don't win the Super Bowl this year, we'll absolutely do it, because I think it could be kind of actually interesting just how bad this team's going to be. But this is really going to be our last chance at winning a Super Bowl in this rebuild. Taking a look at the stats here. Big picture. Well, Myles Garrett continues just to be a monster. But, I mean, I will say, not freaky numbers from any of our players here in the sim. Kyler Murray, this is what he is. Some quarterbacks, like we've seen too in the last couple rebuilds, some quarterbacks might regress some seasons, but they'll pop off, they'll get 40 touchdowns. Not Kyler Murray. Again, it's just because of the rushing touchdowns, I guess it always puts him in MVP contention. 11 touchdowns there. Nick Craig, huge year from James Conner, 11-16 receiving. I mean, it's still cool that we're getting 3,000-yard receivers every time, but obviously we're just shifting so many of those usual passing touchdowns that you see from good quarterbacks. They're just being rushing touchdowns in this scheme. On the defensive side, Isaiah Simmons, big year, 135 tackles. We have 12 sacks, J.J. Watt, 9.5 Montez Sweat, 9.5 for the new superstar pass rusher, Deshaun Owens. Drafted and developed by yours truly. Budda Baker led our team with 4 interceptions. Again, interception numbers have been pretty strong throughout this rebuild for the Arizona Cardinals. A look at the MVP. It goes to Deshaun Watson. Kyler Murray coming in at number 5. Just quickly looking here, see if we have any outright award winners. I don't think Mariota's the Bucs quarterback. Don't want to see that. But what we do want to see, and we do have no problem seeing, is that we get to kick our feet up here. We get to avoid a crash and burn wild card loss, and we await the 9-8 New York Giants in the first round of the playoffs. The Giants ain't shit, let's be honest. Well, Saquon had a hell of a year. 19 rushing touchdowns. I'm borderline, like, thinking every game this run we should, like, hop in and just maybe play the moments, because this is really going to be it. But we handled business, at least in the first round. Maybe a little close for comfort. 31-24. The Cowboys on the other side kicked the crap out of the Eagles, unfortunately. But in this matchup, Kyler Murray played a clean game. 300 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, no picks, 81 yards of Connor. DeAndre Hopkins went nuclear. 8 catches, 168 yards, 2 receiving touchdowns, 2 TFLs, 2 sacks from the ageless wonder, J.J. Watt. And we're just going to have to run through the NFC East. Back on top. Man, what the fuck? That was a big game. Dallas is almost got 100 points in 2 games. I'm a little worried. On the other side, it is a big rivalry game between these Steelers and Myles Garrett, who's unstoppable here. But we got the Dallas Cowboys led by, surprise, surprise, Zeke Elliott, who's probably the greatest sim offensive player, most consistent sim offensive player in Madden 22. But because it is year 4, we're still very much sim. As much as I don't think I could sit there and watch Dallas score 45 points on us, and lose. And it's the exact opposite. 17-10, the good guys. And we have to go get destroyed by Myles Garrett in the Super Bowl. 17-10, the Arizona Cardinals, with 14 of the 17 points coming in the fourth quarter. Dallas choking away an opportunity to go play in the Super Bowl. How fitting. In this matchup, Kyler Murray, wasn't his best game, wasn't his worst game. Had a couple of big plays. Isaiah Simmons with an interception, 2 sacks. Montez Sweat. We got a decent amount of pressure there. Deshaun Owens, sack and a half. And that has set up a matchup against a man in Myles Garrett who won the MVP 2 years ago. Get his own friggin', like, that's how he has 25 sacks this year? Like, he's, like, at this point, I just got to go look at him. Cases is it. I just want to see what kind of pace Myles Garrett's done in this rebuild. I know he's good. Myles Garrett's freaky numbers. It's, if you play any, my God, this team is ridiculous. What am I going up against? Deshaun Watson, 43 passing touchdowns. Nick Chubb, almost 2,000 rushing yards, 25 rushing touchdowns. And then on the defensive side of the ball, like, do you have someone with like 7 interceptions? No, they don't. At least the interceptions. Myles Garrett with 25 and a half sacks. How many times in this rebuild, in a 4-year period, has he broke the sack record? Look at this. 25 and a half, 34, 25 and a half. Jesus Christ. And I'm not religious, and I'm saying that. Really, Madden, I think Myles Garrett is an exceptional player. In terms of, he might be the best defensive end in football. But like real life, 13 sacks, 10 sacks, 12 sacks, 13 sacks. Madden loves him some Myles Garrett. Jesus. All right, we're going to try to take down one of the most overpowered sim teams I've seen in quite some time in the Cleveland Browns. I don't know. Maybe it's Deshaun Watson. I don't know. Let's go. I know we're at 93 overall, but somehow we feel like we're massive underdogs in this matchup. I may need to come in on the sticks if I have to. I'd rather not. I'd rather just this team have enough in the tank to complete the upset. And it literally looks like just weird punts and stuff. But hey, we have the lead. They missed a field goal. How would it come down to like the most explosive team, quarterback, running back, pass rusher, and it's their kicker that ends up costing? But look at the way we're moving the football up and down. We settle for a field goal. I probably should have came in there and punched that in for a touchdown, but our defense holds firm. And very low. Like, it's kind of like that Cowboys game. We're just like out of the blue, just very, very low scoring. Man, we get a stop. We have a chance. 2:44. Can I come in on this drive? Third down. 3rd and 5. With an escape artist quarterback. I think we all know what kind of play is going to happen here at the 2-minute warning. I'm going to tuck and run with Kyler Murray. We're going to get a first down. The computer is going to win us this game. And that's all I need to know. Get the block. Get the block. And that's because, hey, Madden 23, nerfing escape artist. Pretty cool. What? We got to settle for a field goal. Did we just get a punt return for a touchdown? I think we just won this game with a punt return for a touchdown. Not two things that don't happen in Madden. Defensive MVPs, which we saw, and sim special teams touchdowns. I think that's how we won the Super Bowl, fellas. In an epic matchup. I think we won it on a punt return. Who's our punt return? I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Hollywood Brown? But the Arizona Cardinals, finally. For everyone that's come before them, I'm thinking Kurt Warner, Anquan Bolden. Probably missing some other people, but most importantly, Larry Fitzgerald. This one is for you. Arizona Cardinals in our second final rebuild. That's second to last. So that means this is the second remaining rebuild we had left, okay? Can't figure out the terminology here because I'm a little bit hype right now. It's a successful rebuild. A Super Bowl victory over one of the most scary teams I've seen in a sim season. But was that what it was? Was it a walk-off punt return? It was. K. Burton. He's like our 4th wide receiver. 83-yard punt return to win the Super Bowl. That's pretty goddamn epic if you ask me. And that is how we're going to finish this one, fellas. We get to avoid the Cardinals team going into cap hell in year 5. It was a gamble that paid off, thankfully. That'll do for me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. As always, with all the brand new like Madden 23 news and stuff like that coming out, I do have my hands on the beta. I'm sure I'll get some beta codes to give away. I'll probably do it mostly on the old Twitter, so stay tuned for that. But anytime there's more things to talk about as relates to Madden 23, I will be posting on the channel. So if you are interested in that, as well as entertaining as I can make it, older Madden 22 content, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Smash the like button if you enjoyed. And until next time, it's C4 saying we got one more rebuild left. It's the Philadelphia Eagles. It's going to be with A.J. Brown. I cannot wait. It's going to be super fun. I'll see you guys then. Peace out.